Welcome down to the Malted Bourbon Cave. I'm your host, David Bourbon Bruns.
It's not the Bourbon Cave, Dave.
And this is Keith.
It's not.
And tonight, we're doing a bourbon.
All right, so we're back for a bourbon review, as Dave said. But let me be clear: this is not the Bourbon Man Cave.
We're not in the Malted Bourbon
Cave. It's
the
Bourbon Cave tonight, just for you, Dave. So just for Dave,
down in a little nook inside the Malted Man Cave.
There's a little. You know, I love me some bourbon.
There's a little nook.
I love bourbon. I've been raging on some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and some Colonel H. Taylor the last couple days.
30 of our subscribers enjoy our bourbon reviews as well.
And the rest of us just subscribe for the Springbank reviews.
Come for the banter.
All right, so tonight we're going to be doing Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. So,
sounds
Dave,
delicious.
You get to take the rest of this home with you. And that's it. I like this bottle too, so you're welcome.
Little pours.
What you don't know, Dave already drank half of this before. I sent it home with him. I was like, Dave, only drink it halfway.
I had help.
2 days later, he brought it back like, you gotta take this.
You gotta take this away from me.
He did share. All right, so Woodford Reserve. We haven't reviewed the regular Woodford Reserve yet. We need to do that.
We haven't.
So
yeah, someday we'll get to that one.
I'll put that on the list. But tonight we're doing Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. Pretty sure it's owned by George Foreman, Brown Foreman. I about said George Foreman.
Dude, I love me a George Foreman grill.
Dude, George Foreman was amazing.
Making some, oh man.
I was watching something or whatever, and I found out he actually got a lot of hate for kind of not getting too political. He was kind of looked at as an Uncle Tom kind of, because he was cool.
I just hate it when everybody expects a celebrity or a athlete to also be a politician.
Right. I actually like him. I'm proud of him that he took the Michael Jordan, that Republicans buy tennis shoes too. That's what Michael Jordan said. So he didn't get too political. So good for George Foreman keeping the peace between all humanity. But anyways, not George Foreman. Brown Foreman, I believe, owns Woodford Reserve. So this is their Double Oak.
George Foreman might have a piece of it. Who knows?
He could have a stake in it. So, as many people know, a lot of whiskeys nowadays are finished. And sometimes finishings are done well. And sometimes they use finishings, especially in Scotch whiskey, to kind of make up for a whiskey that's already kind of crappy. And they try to put a really heavy, wine cask or sherry cask for a year or so and try to mask the imperfections.
Right.
It turns out okay. But sometimes finishings are done well. And this is actually unique because normally bourbons are not finished. I mean, there's plenty of bourbons that are finished. I need to restate that. There's plenty of bourbons.
Generally, you wouldn't have to finish a bourbon. Would you say that?
Yeah. But this is actually unique because it's actually finishing a bourbon in another virgin oak cask, which was kind of unique. It's not new now. There's lots of people doing it now.
Yeah.
But I think when Woodford Reserve first did it, it was kind of new. So what they do is they take just a normal, the regular Woodford Reserve, put it in a virgin oak, like every bourbon has to be to officially be a bourbon, and at least 51%, and along and all the other rules that they have to be. And then after it's an NAS, so probably after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, then they put it into another virgin oak where they heavily, and I mean heavily toast it, and then they lightly char it.
How do they have just a mechanism as the barrel comes through and it chars it?
I think I've seen a couple. It's literally literally they know first. It's literally 20 seconds.
And then goes.
But I've also seen, I'm pretty sure I've seen some handmade where they just kind of go with it. We're going to do it for
get the torch out, boys.
So I think a bunch of different distilleries kind of do it in different ways, but yeah, I've seen some actual machines where it's timed and they have it reaches a certain temperature. And
imagine your family comes from a long line of barrel chars, and the day comes when they make the automatic char.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
Think about all the jobs.
This is probably one of the darkest whiskeys. You can't tell as much because it's farther down, but when it was full, It was probably one of the darkest
Is that
whiskeys
just
I've ever
because it
seen.
like it soaked up all the
So much,
every-
all the
oils
vanillins and the tannins and the char and the oak,
and then it did it again,
and then they did it again with a very heavily toasted and lightly charred another virgin oak. So this is some of the most woody
2 virgins
vanillins you probably ever had. So the mash bill, it is, I believe, 72% corn. It is 18% rye and 10% malted barley.
Keith was telling me, hey, remember these things and write this down for me real quick.
I had to write it down on the board that we do not have.
And we got started, and he started reading it. He's like, David, what are you doing? I had it all wrong. All the numbers were wrong.
Totally wrong. I had to redo it. All right. Anything else you want to talk about this?
No, let's get into it, man.
All right.
I've never had it before.
So dark.
Not
like
today.
This is like the only other whiskeys that I've seen almost as dark would be like the heavily like the 25, 30-year-old single cask Glendronachs that were in like just a fully like wet, good sherry mature butt for like 30 years, and it was
sherry.
Yeah, look how dark that is. All right, what do you get on the nose, Dave?
So, marshmallow fluff. Then you light it on fire.
Cherries,
definitely that charred. It's on and
like maraschino cherries.
Yeah, like a real sweet cherry, and with a sweet sauce on it.
Then there's like the marshmallow, like you said, and then there's like a little like wood glue.
I got you on the wood glue.
But it's not a bad. Sometimes Jack Daniels has a wood glue note, and it's plenty of times I like it. But then every once in a while, like that's a little too much wooded glue. Wooded glue. I'm struggling tonight.
It's late.
It is. It's like 11:30.
Corona times.
And like the end of the work week.
Happy 4th of July, man.
Happy early 4th of July to you.
Yeah.
We actually might be releasing this on the 4th of July. Actually, you know what? Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
So, what's going on with the fireworks? Are they still going on around
goodness.
you? Like every night?
It's insane, man.
Every night.
Like the big ones, like War of 1812.
Is it like a statement? Is it like a political statement? Is that what's going on?
No, it is because the buying restrictions were relaxed, and
So everyone's just doing it?
Yep, just going crazy.
I thought I saw that like it was maybe partly a political statement. It's not? You don't think?
If it is, it's we don't know what to do with our stimulus check, so we're buying fireworks. I don't know. It's everybody. It's all walks of life setting off fireworks I've seen.
So I get a little cocoa powder.
One guy I was like getting ready to complain to him about. He's like, I got the biggest ones and I've been setting them off.
And he was like nice about it.
Yeah, and I was like,
does he realize that like you have children?
It's like the children.
Because aren't they doing it like late at night?
Yeah, it's like 2 in the morning.
Kids up?
It's been at 2 in the morning. Yeah. All right, let's get into this.
So again, I get a little. Oh, it's got this really, really delicious cocoa powder and maraschino cherries, the wood glue.
Very like a buttery biscuit. I was gonna say a cherry turnover.
Brown sugar, like burnt brown sugar.
It's got a little granola, honey.
And then something about this.
Cinnamon.
I guess it is pretty high. 18% rye. That's a pretty decent rye in a mash bill. And I'm getting a lot of like mint, wintergreen, and it even reminds me a little bit of a Midwinter's Night's Dram.
Yeah.
There's kind of not quite a dill pickle note. No, it's wintergreen mint and almost like a dill pickle. And we did not get notes for this, and I didn't write down notes.
Would say,
and I did not get that dill pickle before until right now.
It's almost dill pickle. Yeah. I was gonna say
mixed with burnt brown sugar, cocoa, maraschino cherries, and then
smells like pickle water. My son just drinks pickle water. Right out of the container.
Does he love it?
Oh yeah, he loves salt. He loves black olives.
I've ever tried that. I like pickles.
Do you like black olives?
Depends. Sometimes I like them in
This
it
isn't
just
always it.
depends. A little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg. It's a really good nose. Like, I remember I was shocked by this. I picked this up and I was like, wow.
It's
way better than I thought it was going to be.
I think it's got a little bit of like cinnamon red hots, that cinnamon note.
Yeah, there is a little spicy.
There's a
cinnamon
little hint
red hot.
to it, but I think the probably the double barreling eased it out a little bit.
Maybe even a little grape soda. Like, I get grape soda a lot with E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, I'm on like grape soda crush or whatever that stuff is called.
It's barely. I mean, the cocoa and the brown sugar,
I'm
all
with
that
ya.
stuff is way there. It's like the slightest hint, like every once in a while pops in of grape soda. It's very faint though. All right, anything else you get it?
No, let me
Move on to the
let
palate.
me taste it. Whew. So for me, that I just had really good granola, and this reminds me.
Yeah, there is a granola.
This reminds me of a granola, like almonds and honey and oats and some cinnamon.
Definitely oats. Oats for sure.
Oats, maybe it's oats.
Strong oats.
Yeah.
Again, this comes in at 45.2% ABV. So it's not super hot, but it's got enough heat to it that it packs a pretty good flavor.
Man, that color is amazing.
Again, cinnamon spice, nutmeg, a little bit of cocoa powder, maraschino cherries again, the wintergreen, red hots. Then it kicks. The dill pickle is not quite as strong. It's more strong on the nose than it is on the palate. It's barely there on the palate, but on the nose it was pretty strong.
I think the
Oats for sure, man. That oats drying. It's really drying.
Yeah, I think the rye aspect, the mint and the evergreen, what you were talking about, is much more apparent on the tasting for me than it was on the nose. But I think it complements the sweetness and the burnt edge to it.
There's that burnt brown sugar that I got on the nose.
Granola again.
Granola, yep.
You gotta have this. It's the best granola I've ever eaten.
Granola is oats, right? Isn't it oats and
It's just
granola? What all is in
oats
granola?
and sugar, right? Oats and honey, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I think
and then
so.
you can add nuts and whatever raisins.
I guess I've never really. I just assumed it was oats.
Kate was like, "Did you get the granola with the raisins again?"
She doesn't like the raisins.
No, I don't blame her.
What is up with your family and not liking raisins? That's why you don't like cherry mature.
No. We do like raisins, but we like to be in charge of the raisins. We like to add raisins to things. We don't like.
You did always like to be in control.
No. We just like the proper amount of raisins, and there, there's a difference between a fresher raisin that comes in a raisin container, and then one that's been in like a packet for maybe a year.
I like
dehydrated.
I love raisins. I love prunes too.
I like prunes too. Sometimes I drink Beckett's prune juice.
No, I don't do that. Prune juice isn't my thing.
It will be someday.
All right. The finish. Long, short, medium.
I think it's pretty long.
Notes. It's very drying. That oats note, I did not get that. And you're right. That oats with a little of the cocoa powder, little cherries, the red hot cinnamon heat.
I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. Was the red hots and the heat. You can kind of breathe it out there towards the end.
I'd say medium to long.
Yeah.
It's not like the longest ever. It really lasts for a good while there, and then it kind of dissipates.
Maybe a little banana at the end.
That brown sugar also is kind of a drying oats and brown sugar. I got to be honest with you, this really surprised me. This is a really good whiskey, and I'm kind of sad to be giving it to you, but I got to give you some of the spoils of war from participating in the channel.
I have to drive all the way over here and drink whiskey.
It's rough.
It's rough. So rough.
So Multi-Man Kid Mark, what are you going to give this, Dave?
I think it's fantastic. if this is one of the first to double oak them, I would say it is a great one to look to as far as how to do it. And it's surprising, Woodford Reserve, it's not like my favorite at all. Like just regular Woodford Reserve.
I like it. It's just not great.
Just not great. Nothing. I'd rather reach for something else cheaper or in the same range. But this is very good. This is a strong 87.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nice, dude.
I'm gonna go 86.
All right.
Just 86. To be a Scotch snob.
That's all right.
I'll give it an 86. It was gonna be an 87, but I'll give it an 87.
Yeah, 86 and 87. So still, definitely
it's not a cheap bourbon, but it wasn't expensive either. I think it's like around 50
for almost
50-ish.
an A plus, or for almost an A.
I would definitely recommend this. Like, I would be happy if I always had a bottle of this.
Yeah.
Just for how dark. It looks pretty cool how dark it was.
Dude, that'd be fun to. Yeah.
So, question of the night. Dave had a Quizlet for me.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Keith about.
Want me to pour a little bit more? Are you good?
Yeah.
While we chat.
Yeah, hold on.
It's yours, so you pour. It's yours now, buddy. I'm good. I got enough.
Sorry, I wanted to enjoy that. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was, with the world coming to an end, there's going to have to be some distilleries that close, right? There's just not going to be enough product. Things are going to get weaker and weaker and substituted. So you're going to have to make some choices. And it is the whiskey world has come to you at the Malted Man Cave to make some decisions. I'm going to give you some distilleries. You have to axe. Let's see. 1 out of 3, as I name them, you have to cut them.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
1 out of 3. No matter what you get.
I got to get it. One out of 3. I got
1 out of 3 of these.
It's got to be shut down.
It's got to be. It is carpet bombed.
Okay.
Never to be resurrected. All right. Here we go. Glenlivet, Highland Park, Lafroig.
Glenlivet.
Oh, that got you into.
I know.
That got you into it.
And
that's all right.
And if they do things right, like the Glenlivet, the Nadura, especially the one that was 16 years old, that was good stuff.
Are you saying they've been riding on years gone past for a long time?
The Glenlivet, yeah. Apparently, it used to be amazing.
Yeah,
but
when there weren't choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right. Talisker, Macallan, Lagavulin.
So that one's tough because Macallan back in the day used to be unbelievably good. And because they have the ability, if they did things right, to get back to that. And Lagavulin like one of my top 5 favorite distilleries. And I love Talisker. Like Talisker 25 cast strength is so good. Talisker 18 is
one of them's got to be carpet bombed.
So it's got to be Talisker.
Talisker!
Because Macallan, I always hold out hope that they'll get back to the good old days.
I like it. Mike, an angel in heaven, just got its Macallan's wings. All right. Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie, Glenmorangie, or Glenfarclas.
Glenmorangie,
Glenfiddich, Glenfarclas.
Glenfiddich's got to go.
All right.
And no.
Any reason? Just not a fan?
No, Glenfiddich, and that was part of what started my love too.
I know.
The 15-year Solera, but because a lot of their expressions are just so ho-hum, and Glenfarclas I love, and gotta be Glenfiddich. Right. Sorry, Glenfiddich.
Edradour.
Where they
Edradour, Aberlour, or no, I don't want to say it.
Dalmore for sure. Dalmore, no more.
Or let's throw Springbank in there.
Oh, well,
I know it's
obviously
not gonna stay
Springbank
good.
is not going anywhere.
I know.
Oh,
So, how about between Aberlour
that's tough
and
between Edderdour, Craigellachie?
Craigellachie? Is that what I said?
So
yeah.
you said Edderdour, Aberlour, and Springbank.
Oh,
Is that the three choices?
so take Springbank out and put Craigellachie in.
Craigellachie?
Yeah,
Craigellachie.
Craigellachie. Down to the creek. I'm walking down.
All
to
right,
the creek.
so remind me again. Aberlour, Craigellachie, and Springbank.
Sure. Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Craigellachie and Aberlour, because Aberlour, the old Abunas were so freaking good.
I remember how much you
The
love.
old Abunas, but the Abunas now do not taste like that.
No.
If they
What's
still,
changed between them?
they're not. They don't age it for as long. I don't think the sherry casks are as good. If the Abuna was still as good as it used to, I'd probably. And Aberlour 18 is not that great to me, and some of the other Aberlour. So I'm gonna. Aberlour's got to take the boot because I have Craigellachie 23 and 17 are delish, and a couple other Craigellachie with their worm tubs, man. It's good stuff.
Okay. All right. Second parter. Not only have you now axed distilleries, but distilleries are bringing you in to start axing lines within them. Okay?
Crow.
You have to choose. And guess
Whiskey
who?
Expressions?
Yep.
Oh my.
Guess who has called you?
Springbank?
Springbank called.
All right. They called.
They called.
I wish they
All right.
would call. I've given you guys enough free pub.
All right. So Springbank's called. Starting with the Hazelburn line. Okay?
Okay.
8 or 12. What do you keep?
12.
Okay. Long row. 1 out of 2 you get to keep. I guess, all right, okay. So get rid of 2 out of these 3.
All right.
10, 14, or 18.
Obviously 10.
Okay.
A keep or
Keep. You keep. You only get to keep 1.
keep it like long row 14 cherry?
Yes.
Keep that.
Okay.
And long row 18, yes.
Okay.
The 10.
No, you only get to keep 1 out of those 3.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Long row 14 cherry then.
Okay.
Long row 18, if it was cast strength, probably the long row 18.
Okay.
The 2019 is really good. We're going to review that soon.
All right. And then finally, times are tough, man. Okay. What is your favorite Springbank expression?
Hold that thought. All right. So I've probably had, I'd probably say probably 100 plus
Yeah.
different actual expressions, not
Yeah.
just 100 bottles.
Okay, I got
100 different of the different
Yeah,
Springbank.
yeah.
Maybe not quite that many, but very close. I've had the Springbank 25, 21, all these single casks.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you guys, now this was a while ago, so this may be a thing that maybe my taste have changed, and maybe I wouldn't like this much. But in my head movies, this Springbank 16 single cask Amontillado to this day might be the best whiskey I've ever had.
Oh, that's great. What did you love the most about it?
It was so rich. It was so sherried, but it was like the Amontillado is it's not quite Oloroso sherry. It's a little bit like almost like lighter.
Yeah.
But then it has a little bit of peat. It has like the sweet sherry. It has like the wood interaction.
Yeah.
It was just the most complex yet full of flavor whiskey I think I've ever had.
That's great. So,
Please, someone find this and get me a bottle.
all right.
I need to see for science to see if this is.
My question is, they bring you in, Springbank. This is their core and one and only expression that you've chosen.
All right.
Okay? But the catch is, you are merging Springbank with another distillery, and you're going to mix it with that. So, what other whiskey would
Would
you
I mix?
blend with this whiskey?
Ooh.
And you're forced to do it. What would pair?
Now, I don't know. Now, I have mixed a Springbank and a Klein Leash together, and it actually worked. But I'm sure there could be some blending where it was horrible.
I-
I'd like to know what that mixed with like a really good quality Klein Leash would taste like. Yeah. Because you get the peat, you get a little of the waxiness from Klein Leash, you get the sherry, you get the yeah. It may be horrible, but I like to know.
I was thinking about it. I was wondering. I wonder if like Ralphie just gets bored and just starts.
I've been doing that lately.
Just putting a little bit in there. Like, I think these notes might. Yeah. Okay. So a little Klein Leash in this
maybe
one,
a heavily bourbon matured Klein Leash. I normally prefer the really sherry matured Klein Leashes, although I've had some amazing bourbon matured Klein Leash.
Yeah.
But because this is already heavily sherried with the Amontillado, like a really heavily older, maybe cast strength signatory, like 26-year-old Klein Leash. I'd love to know. You want to know what I have been mixing lately? Old school Glendronach, like the Glendronach 18s and 21s that are really like 24 years. Mix that with some Lagavulin 12.
Dude, Hallie just said tonight, she said, because I was saying that, I was like, Keith asked me about if you liked the E.H. Taylor. And I said, I was honest, and I just said that you kind of thought it was a bourbon.
Yeah.
And she said, but what about that Glendronach?
She liked that?
She's like that. What about that Glendronach 24-year-old?
I'll hook her up with some when I open the next bottle.
I laughed. I was like, I'll have to tell
She's got some fancy taste.
I was like,
she likes the 24-year-old sherry moms. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you one question before we go. Yeah. If you had to mix 2 bourbons.
Oh man, 2 bourbons.
What would you mix?
Okay.
And I know you haven't done this, but in your head movies, what do you think would taste good together?
Yeah, what would taste good? I think so I do not like rye very much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want to mix 2 bourbons together. Because
I just want to mix 2 different batches of Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Right. That's what I would do. I would Elijah Craig with Elijah Craig. Ooh. I think I would do barrel proof or wait. What's bottle of wild barrel proof, right?
Yeah.
I would do barrel proof with I do each. If I could just go crazy, I would mix a bottle of my 2 favorite bourbons together.
Tell you what.
I would do E.H. Taylor and a bottle of Wow, and I would just go blah, 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 blah into each other and see what it did.
Tell you what, next time we hang out, we're going to mix it together.
We're going to mix a little Wow and a little E.H.
Stay tuned.
Can we do that? Yeah, we'll do that on here. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Hey,
we'll keep you posted about the mixture of Elijah Craig barrel proof and E.H. Taylor.
That's what I do.
Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, hit the notifications bell, and remember, Scotch is king.
But bourbon is sometimes best.
This was pretty good, man.
This was a great bourbon.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.